Hey friends, welcome back to Rita Talks. I'm Rita, and on this YouTube channel, I just share some of the thoughts, ideas that I've been thinking about, some of the things that have been going on in my life. And I just lost the electricity. Give me 1 second, I will turn it back on. Okay, I'm back. I lost the electricity because today I had electricians that spent the whole day changing basically my electrical board. I don't know how you call it, but it seemed like this is the third time that it happens today. Uh, so, so yeah, I'm just gonna have to call my landlady tomorrow to just tell her that something is wrong, and just for them to come and fix it, because I think maybe they didn't put enough capacity in the new ones as compared to how much I need. So it might turn off again in the next 20 minutes that I'm gonna be talking to this camera. But yeah, basically it seems that I keep on filming these videos in the middle of the night. So it's 4:41 a.m. and I took a nap. Basically, I slept in the living room for a bit. You can tell from my voice that I'm feeling slightly better than yesterday's video where my voice was absolutely terrible. And yeah, just today had the electricians be here for the whole day. But yeah, I was supposed to work remotely, but I ended up, I think, as I mentioned in yesterday's video, taking a day off because I was completely tired and sick and everything at the same time. So yeah, it was good to just take the day off to rest and give my body some rest, because I think probably how hard I've been going lately is a factor to why I'm feeling so sick, why I was feeling so sick yesterday. But yeah, feeling slightly better. I took some paracetamol with some vitamin C. I took some again a few minutes, like maybe 30 minutes ago, to maybe help me a bit better during the day, because I'm gonna fast. And yeah, just overall quite an interesting day. Spent most of it in this bed, sleeping or watching something while basically the electricians were working in my apartment, basically hall. And yeah, today I just basically wanted to talk about maybe just how I'm feeling, and honestly nothing too much. I've continued listening to that Diary of a CEO episode with this ex CIA spy. I think his name is, let me tell you his name. This guy's name is Andrew Bustamante. And I found it very, very interesting. Like, some of the interesting things that stood out to me are basically how to spot when someone is lying, or like how to spot a very bad liar. And like, some of the telltale signs are, first, that they talk a lot. So they when they're lying, they talk a lot to maybe prove that they're not lying, but basically that's what makes it more likely that they get caught, because basically the more you talk, the more likely you are to reveal that you're basically lying, because it's like I guess it's easier to mess up. The more words you say, the more lies you say. And it's easier to be spotted the more lies you say. That's the first thing. The second thing is that they tend to make lots of statements that basically, they tend to make lots of statements and look you in the eye while saying those statements. Whereas, in contrast, a good liar talks very little and asks a lot of questions, which is kind of interesting. And then the last thing which I got from this podcast episode was that basically they like if you're someone who like if you're dealing with someone who is not very used to lying or is an amateur liar, they tend to move a lot. And basically he gave this analogy of there is a reason why people say that if you're lying, you're in the hot seat, because it literally looks like they're in a hot seat, so they keep gesturing a lot and making lots of movements, and they feel uncomfortable in their in their skin, etc. But basically, there is no like objective way of telling that someone is lying. Basically, to be able to tell whether someone is lying is to establish a baseline for them, like spend enough time with them to be able to determine like what's the baseline for this person when they're not lying, basically. And then like by measuring that diff, you could tell if they were lying or not, maybe unless they were a very good liar. And that was quite interesting to know. Just honestly, overall, very, very interesting stuff. About lying, about like he keeps on talking about the fact that persuasion and motivation are on the same coin, like there are two sides of the same coin, and not maybe no manipulation and motivation are on two sides of the same coin. And basically manipulation is getting someone to do something that you want them to do, and motivation is getting someone to do something that they want to do. And the distinction there is that basically, if you're manipulating someone, you're trying to make them believe that they want to do something, and get them to do it without them actually wanting to do that thing. Whereas motivation, it's generally getting someone to do something that they want to do, and basically the same skills, like his point is that the same skills that can be used for manipulation can also be used for motivation. So basically helping people get out of their own heads and act in ways that are more aligned with the things that they want to do but are not able to do themselves, like not themselves, but basically they can't get themselves to do. And basically he talks about, I think, this race framework, this RICE framework, which is basically a framework that's about the different kinds of motivation that exists. I don't remember like what the RICE stands for, but maybe I can talk a bit more about like the motivations in the basically in the I guess the order, like the order of impact to some extent. So I don't remember what the R stands for, but I think the I stands for identity, or basically belief motivation. So if you believe if you believe in a religion or it's ideological. It's ideological motivation, and that's the strongest one. So if you belong to a specific ideology, let's say you're religious, or I don't know, you love your country, you love your country so much that you want to fight for it and like do stuff for it. You love a cause so much. Okay, I need to go turn this back on because this is getting annoying. I'll be right back. So I was just talking about the types of motivation that he was talking about, and the one that stuck out to me is the ideology one. I don't remember what the R stands for, but basically he had this acronym called RICE. So I stands for ideology, C stands for coercion, basically making someone do something like with threats and stuff like this. And actually, as it turns out, it's the least powerful form of like influence that you can have on someone, because you can get them to do something once, but you can never get them to do something more than once, like the same thing more than once. And so basically it's the fastest way to break trust, and trust is the foundation for any influence. What like talking about influence, can be influence can be used for both sides, of like with as a two-sided coin, as I just mentioned. So the first part of the coin is motivation, so influence to motivate, and the second part of the coin is influence to manipulate. And basically, which one you choose to do with those skills is basically the moral. Is where the moral aspect comes in, and the same skills can be used for good, and the same skills can be used for bad. But basically, in this acronym RICE, you have uh, ideology, coercion, and ego. And ego is actually the second most powerful of these four types of influence. And I still don't remember what the R1 is and the R stands for, but basically ego is, he gives the example of like, let's say, I don't think it's the example that he gave, but let's say Gandhi has had an ego, not as an ego like people with a big ego, but basically as a persona that he wants to somewhat enforce. It's not necessarily a persona, but it's just an image. Not necessarily an image, but it's the kind of person that he is. So basically, he is someone who's good, who preaches peace, and he wants that. He wants that identity to be reinforced for himself, but also he wants that identity to be displayed to other people so that it can have a good influence on them. And that's the second most powerful type of influence, following ideology. So people will do anything for their ideology. And then the second thing that motivates people is their ego. So being acting in a way that's in accordance with the person that they tell themselves they are. And then the third one is the R, which I don't know what it stands for, but it's the third most powerful one. And the last one is the C, which is coercion, and it's the least powerful one, but this is basically in contradiction with the popular culture of what spies do, or like people who are successful do, is that in the movies, in the fictional worlds, they use lots of coercion, which is actually the least powerful way to influence. So yeah, that was very, very interesting to learn, to hear about. Obviously, still have not got it all dialed down, but just thought it was very interesting. And then the last one that I remember from this podcast is this acronym. I think was it rat cat rat. I have no idea. But it was just another acronym for maybe how to train something. I don't remember. I have to continue listening to this episode, or like re-listen to it again, which is within my plans, to maybe get a final refresher on these things. But yeah, Those are the things that I wanted to talk about for today. Thanks a lot for tuning in. You can click here to watch my previous video on this channel, Stone right before this one, or you can click here to watch my latest video on the channel overall. Thanks again for tuning in. I hope you have a fantastic rest of the day, night, whichever time of day it is where you are right now. Bye for now, and I hopefully see you in the next one. Bye.